So,
How you guys doing?
well, we got to hang on a second. I gotta do better at editing.
Okay.
I didn't see that title, but I didn't want to watch the whole fucking video,
Yeah,
and I didn't see it until just the other day.
that's all right.
It shows how how much effort we don't put in.
I think I've appreciated that much more.
Yeah.
I think we put in plenty effort.
All right. Let me turn this up a little. My old ear very well.
I mean, look at us, all wearing red.
Yeah.
Stevie's got a My Bloody Valentine shirt on.
Oh, look, man. Man, Stevie just brings it.
He bringing it.
Yeah, dude. I saw your notes last time. I gotta kind of try to jump up on this.
Did you dye your hair red for this too?
Well, not for this, but I dyed it red. Well, I didn't dye it red. It's like orange with black tips.
Oh, I thought you were going all out.
Yeah.
Right? You should have just said, yeah, of course I did.
So what is this, episode 6? Yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah, it's 6. So tonight is My Bloody Valentine, 1981.
That's right.
Did you bring your notes this time, Mike?
I have notes. I do have notes.
Awesome.
All right.
My notes aren't as extensive as they were for strangers, but I found a few things.
All right.
And I only watched the old one, right? We weren't supposed to watch the new one. So
yeah,
I've never seen the remake.
Yeah, I haven't stayed up through the remake either. I fall asleep, if you can believe that.
No, not you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
I'll be snoring before the credits start. Drooling.
So with this movie, so I started watching it, right? And it was the regular theatrical version. And I was like, all right, I think I'm missing a lot because I remembered some things when I saw it a while ago. And so I found like a really bad kind of copy on YouTube that was the extended cut, director's cut.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching that coinciding with the theatrical version on my TV.
Is there a part in the beginning? I mean, I'm not really gonna. We'll probably ruin the whole movie anyway. But when he takes the girl and puts her on the pickaxe, there's a lot that is cut out, but not just that throughout the whole movie. But yeah, when that I realized it almost right away. I was like, okay, there was something else to this because it was way too just cut and dry. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think they said they cut like something like, I don't know if it was 5 minutes on, it couldn't have been 5 minutes each murder scene, but it was like a total of 10 minutes for the movie to get a rated R rating for it.
Yeah, I read that. It was like 9 minutes
before. So like the death scenes, they had to cut. It said every single death scene they had to cut so much out of it just to be able to put it out.
And they did. And watching both of them at the same time, you realize how much they really cut out. And it really, I'm not going to say like changes the movie, but it just makes it a lot more tame, I should say.
Yeah.
It almost feels generic.
Yeah.
With the scenes cut out.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, like it's a made for TV movie.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It does now, but watching that movie, my whole like growing up watching that movie, you never know you're missing that stuff. They didn't just put that out until recently on like the extra DVD, like however anniversary edition or whatever. For the longest time, those scenes were never even known of.
Well, I think the version on Pluto that Mike's talking about is cut down.
It's cut down a lot.
Really?
I don't know how much, but it's cut down a lot.
Huh.
Yeah. So, you know, like in the beginning when that pickaxe goes through the girl's
tattoo.
The heart, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that being a lot more graphic and longer.
It was. You actually see the pickaxe poke through it.
Yeah.
Whereas this one on Pluto was just kind of real quick.
Yeah, it was real fast, and it's like, oh, there was a part there that was missing. So I don't know if that's because of the streaming or what, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
I never watched on Pluto. I have no clue. I can just go from like the regular version that was out and then like the DVD extra one, you know.
Yeah, usually I watch the DVD. I don't have the VHS because it's like $100 to buy right now.
Oh wow.
Which is
really?
crazy. Yeah.
Hey, you want to buy my VHS for $200?
No.
Tell you what, $99. $99.
I'll buy you pizza. Just give it to me.
Done. You got it.
So, whose side are you on here? Are you team Axel or are you team TJ?
I mean, a lot of the characters were pretty annoying, so.
Well, they were. All right, let's get into that first. Something about that movie that kind of annoys me is the overacting. I guess not over. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're saying. Like it starts at the very beginning when they're in the mine. They come out like, and they're supposed to be acting like crazy guys, and it just comes off as goofy. You know, like I've never acted like that in my life.
No, a lot of movies in the 70s and 80s like had that perception of dudes just acting stupid.
Right.
Especially small town dudes like that have nothing to do.
Yeah. And that music that they play, like that was a typical like, oh, they're getting rowdy. Let's play some.
Yeah. Like the banjo and the fiddle.
Yeah.
I throw in a little tidbit here.
Yeah.
So I heard when they were filming this movie before they started shooting the movie, they like had the characters, the main character stuff, stay in this little area of town where they were filming it and get like used to the locals and everything because there was like no one out there. So the locals were just as much part of the movie as the actors, pretty much. Like they used a lot of locals for a lot of the scenes.
Yeah.
And so they would make comments like when they would come in next day or whatever, because like they could tell if they got drunk and partied too hard, because some days they would come in and be like, oh, it was a fun night, we had a good time. The other times they'll come in and I guess their knuckles were all bloody and stuff because they would get in fights with the locals at that bar. they would always know when it was like a big crazy night or just like a laid back, cool, relaxing night.
I could see that with those people, and you could tell, you know, a lot of the extras were just people they picked up from the town.
Yeah, definitely.
When I was younger watching it, the overacting, the over the top acting, it didn't bother me as much. As I get older, I'm like, dudes don't act like this. I've never acted like this.
No.
You know, but it adds to the quality of the film, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it was the sign of the times making those movies. You know.
It's like
the old guy at the bar was the best.
Say it again.
The old guy at the bar was the best with the overacting.
The bartender?
He lasted like 5 minutes at the guy popping out a door.
The bartender is my all-time favorite character of that film. Calling the kids a bunch of assholes. You guys aren't gonna listen to me. You're gonna see. You're gonna find out. Cancel this party, you fucking assholes.
Yep.
He's the Scooby-Doo. I would have gotten it away if it wasn't for you snooping kid.
You meddling kids. He was definitely Crazy Ralph of Valentine.
I was just gonna say that. He's definitely Crazy Ralph.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, and I don't know if this is in your notes, Mike, but it starts off on Thursday the 12th.
Yep.
And then Friday the 13th is in there, and then February Saturday.
So So when I saw that they started it on the 12th and Thursday, I kind of went back to make sure. I was like, all right, is this historically accurate? And it came out in 81, and in 81, it was the 12th was on a Thursday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So I
I
was like,
love
all right,
how you do homework.
huh?
I love how you do your homework.
Yeah. I've got a couple things here,
All right.
but some stuff I couldn't really find out. And I didn't want to look too much into it, but yeah, that was something interesting that I saw.
So, did you remember who the killer was?
What do you mean? Do I remember who the killer?
No, before you rewatched it, did you remember who the killer was?
No, because I didn't really remember. I thought I did, but none of the characters are really memorable, right? So it was hard to remember who the killer was. Like, I didn't really remember names. I remembered I remember like some stuff, but
To that
I,
point,
I remembered it. I remembered it in further into the movie, but I didn't remember it right away.
to that point, the character development for me is just like I don't really care about any of these people.
Oh yeah.
The one dude, the jolly fellow with the mustache.
Yeah,
I can't
Hollis.
was it Hollis?
I think that's Hollis. Yeah,
I liked him just because he seemed like a cool dude.
yeah, he had a sweet hat.
Yeah. But that was about the extent of the character development that I
What his goofy little buddy with the weird teeth?
Always
Always
forgettable.
try to tell jokes.
Forgettable. One that was like snorting the soda.
Yeah, yeah. Just trying to make everyone happy. Get over whatever's bad. That would kind of be like me of our friend group, you know? I'm always like, people are fighting. I'm like, hey guys, come on. Come on.
Do something stupid to make them laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
So the main guy,
No.
he just
No.
do.
You ain't that funny.
Speaking of
Jeez.
funny, I was just gonna say the main guy, TJ, when he would like try to be serious, all I could hear was his Canadian accent, and it would crack me up.
Well, yeah, Axel had it too.
Yeah, but he's like talking to Sarah. They're like, he's like telling me, Mister. He's like, I'm sorry.
It's a hoax.
Yeah.
See, I thought this movie was shot in Pittsburgh because they were drinking the Lion's Head beer.
Moosehead.
That's a
Moosehead.
Pittsburgh beer, but it wasn't. To my dismay,
It was Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. Yes.
This movie was unintentionally funny in a lot of ways.
You said unintentionally funny?
Yeah.
It was definitely recorded for the drive-in movie crowd.
Mhm.
You know, it was just meant to. They were totally jumping on that whole bandwagon of putting out something for the holidays because it's going to sell regardless.
Yep.
Mhm.
And don't make it too in depth because people are going to be drinking at the drive-in or making out, not really watching it.
We're not making a deep film here.
No.
I mean, there was Black Christmas before that. There was Halloween before that. Friday the 13th came out a year before it, I believe, 1980.
Yeah, I believe so.
So this was just adding to, all right, let's just pick a holiday and go.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I think the director even said that in an interview at some point. Like, that's what it was. Because just like The Strangers, I don't know if you guys know this, it was another title to this movie. Originally.
The Secret.
I accidentally stumbled upon it, but yeah, The Secret. Yeah. And it's in the beginning. It's in the beginning titles, and it says The Secret. I don't know if it was like The Secret Productions or something.
Huh.
But yeah, I inadvertently found that. But if you want to like go further into it.
Nope. I was just saying there's another title. I know you have notes. You're the music guy. So I know you're going to throw in a tidbit at the end about it, right?
About The Secret? I don't. Well, so
there's the the Easter egg at the end in the end credits and the end song, right?
Yeah.
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 The end. Well, the end song is called "The Ballad of Henry Warren," right?
Warden.
Don't know.
Warden.
I don't know
Warden.
what. Yeah, I don't
Warden.
know what song it is that has the words "The Secret" in it, but
I know the song at the end was like added in after the movie. Some guy like wrote the lyric stuff, but I know the song. I don't know what it was titled. I just know the guy wrote the song about the movie, and I know he threw in "The Secret" because at the time that was the title of the movie. You know.
And so I inadvertently found it because in one scene there was I don't know if it was the sheriff or the whatever he was looking up, and there was a jar that had a brain in it, and it had a name, Bertha McCartan on it. And I tried to look it up. There's nothing. There's no connection or anything. So I was like, what? So when I looked it up, I found this site, and I didn't look too much into the site, but I wish I would have written it down because I would have given the site credit. But it had at the very, because I thought, okay, this is going to tell me what that means, but it was like kind of a synopsis of the movie in different parts. I didn't really look at it, but what I did see at the beginning was about The Secret, and the reason they called it The Secret is because they didn't want it to get out that they were making a holiday movie. They didn't want somebody to make it before them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and so they just called it. The working title was The Secret.
Right on.
Since like Friday 13th, Halloween, they didn't want somebody to swoop in and make a Valentine horror movie before they could get theirs out.
Yeah. They weren't creative enough like Sean Cunningham to put out a thing in a newspaper, new horror film Friday the 13th before he even has a movie written.
so with the acting not being great and the character development not being great, I did appreciate the back and forth between TJ and Axel and how you could kind of tell that they were friends and they were trying to work through the dilemma that they had with what was her name, Sarah. Yeah. So TJ was dating Sarah, and then he just up and peaced out, went to California. And he didn't tell anybody where he was. He didn't bother calling or any of that. So then Axel and Sarah started hooking up. And then TJ came back. So Axel is fucked up in the first place. Like, dude, that it doesn't matter that he just up and left. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm team TJ.
Me too.
You know? Fuck that.
I think he got the wrong end of the stick the whole way around. He was just trying to better himself.
Yeah, he's trying to get out for a little bit.
His dad was bad.
He shouldn't have pieced out like he did, but still.
No, but still, like
came back.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
If anyone had a reason to kill, it was TJ.
Oh, there you go.
And the movie kind of led you to try to believe that
it was TJ.
Yeah.
So
not very convincingly, but they did.
Overall, what do you think of the killer?
I like the killer. I mean, I like the look of the killer and everything.
Mm-hmm. Different. I love the simplicity of them.
Yeah,
it sure. Was, and you didn't as far as the acting goes, you didn't have to worry about the acting. The killer, like with the strangers, you could see the eyes and everything you were talking about. Everything. This guy couldn't mess up. He's in a mask.
He did say, like he had a line in the beginning, and I don't remember if he said anything else, but when he's messing around with that chick in the mine, and she goes to take the mask off, he says no.
Yes.
Is that the only line he has in the film?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think that's all he said. Yeah.
I mean, it's Axel, so.
Yeah, but like with his shit on.
Yeah. Well, at the very end, I don't know if he has it. He doesn't have his mask on anymore at the end when he runs off.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, when he's like Sarah, my bloody Valentine, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Will you be my Valentine?
Yeah.
So, I heard they were going to do a sequel to it. Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
And then
Yeah, I did.
the idea got scrapped,
Mm-hmm.
and then
I
they
don't
did.
know what it was going to be about or anything.
No, I don't know. I can't say anything about the 3D remake because I haven't stayed awake through it, but I think I would have rather seen a sequel.
I would have rather seen a sequel personally, but I mean, that remake, you know how I feel about remakes. I'm not a fan of them at all, but that one I didn't completely hate.
Maybe I'll
You know,
watch it tonight.
it's like you were saying, you know, the original, the acting's not the greatest, you know, it's just what it is, you know. So those
Yeah.
are one of the type of movies where you could improve on the shortcomings of the film as far as character development and people, and I think they did a good job with that on the remake, personally.
You think they did a better job on the remake with the character development?
Yeah, because they have like major actors in that remake.
Do
You
you
know, big
actually
actors.
care about the characters?
Yeah, I did myself, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you guys remember like in 2010 when those miners got trapped down in the mine?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
They were like
yeah.
miners and they were down there for days and finally they all got out.
Yep.
I heard that the foreman of that group wanted to take them all out for drinks after they got them out, but he wasn't able to because they were minors.
But oh man.
Yeah, like hanging on the words. Man,
Oh man.
Yeah.
man.
Was that a good one?
That was a
Everybody,
good
anybody that made it this far just like stopped it and went to something else.
so do you know why they didn't make the sequel?
No.
No.
The only thing I've ever heard was like the big reason was because the original didn't do well. Like it didn't do as well in the theaters as they expected. So it made such a crappy amount of money that Paramount wouldn't pick it up. They wouldn't put it out. But they'll do a remake. That's where I'm confused at because I think it was like somewhere in 2000, 2001, something like that when the director put in that script for part 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long after that the remake came out. So I don't know what the reasoning is behind why choose a remake over a sequel. You know, they put a lot of money in it because the remake's in 3D.
Yeah, I
Maybe
kind of like how they did that though. Like they started doing stuff in 3D again.
Well, yeah, I do too, but they could have, like you said, you would have rather seen a sequel. Why
Mhm.
not do a sequel in 3D? If you're worried about the funds and part 1 not making the money, why just completely decline doing a sequel to the movie and trying to press that for 3D and just scrap it and just make the regurgitate the first one?
Yeah.
Thought that they could tell the story better.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I can see them wanting to do that to reintroduce it. And like they had the idea for the sequel. So all they have to do is just show the original again, kind of, but bring it, into present time. And so then they can bring out the sequel, and then that might bring more people out, instead of just bring out the sequel to a movie that a lot of people probably hadn't heard of.
That's right. And I mean, I agree with that. I get where they're getting at with that, but it goes along with my arguments with like the Texas Chainsaw remake.
Yeah.
Like that.
Mhm.
It's us fans that grew up on this type and watched these movies and loving them so much, kind of get the shaft because what we grew up loving and everything, it's like, oh wow, that's cheap, that's old, let's modernize it, and it's I don't know. I'm just
I
being
didn't hate the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake as much as you did.
What?
I didn't hate the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake as much as you did.
Really?
Yeah. You hate that film.
Yeah, he hates it.
Could you tell?
There's, like Arlie Ermy in it, I thought was great.
Oh yeah. I thought they did enough different that it kind of stood on its own in a way, and so like it wasn't like shot for shot like the new like Psycho with Vince Vaughn and Anne Hesh.
I mean,
There was a reason for that, though.
yeah,
You what?
There was a reason for that, though, for them to do it shot for shot like that.
because there were things they wanted to add in.
Well, that was the exact script and everything. I guess Alfred Hitchcock wrote, and the way he wanted it shot, they just wouldn't let him do it at the time because of the rating system.
Like when the guy falls down the stairs and starts seeing all that shit. I forget.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't in the original, but he
I can see how much we love this movie.
I know. I'm trying to get us back to
You know,
the movie we're supposed to do,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're not sneaking me into a Texas Chainsaw Remake podcast. Forget that.
now we're talking about Psycho. All right, My Bloody Valentine.
listen, I think the best thing about this movie is are the kills, but the unedited kills.
Yes.
You know, they're pretty memorable and they're pretty good because they're still practical effects. So I ranked the kills. And what I thought was the best to the worst. So I can start with the worst and go to the best. And I might have missed one, but I don't think I did. I thought the worst death was Patty's death. It was pretty just. They turned a corner and she just got the pickaxe in the stomach, and that was pretty much it. There wasn't anything else.
Yeah, not spectacular. But he had to use his tool.
Yeah, and I was ready for her to go because when she was climbing up that ladder and stuff and complaining, I was like, I'm not gonna go any further. I'm like, okay, you need to go.
Yeah, throw her off yourself. I'm not gonna die for you being scared.
Oh,
yeah,
man. Okay, so then number 8 was Mike and Harriet. I thought that was kind of cool because they had a big screw in them, and they were, screwing. The dad joke.
That one I heard they did a lot more with that scene as well, but that footage never got put out.
Yeah, there was nothing. It was just he showed up and he saw them and they were just dead already.
I forget where I saw it. I read or something somewhere where that scene they actually like show him use that tool.
Oh, I believe it. It's weird that he just showed up and they were like that already.
Yeah.
But even though that's it was still a better kill. Number 7, I put the girl death at the beginning. Just because I like how it started out with it, but it really wasn't a whole lot. But I liked that the movie immediately went to it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
And the pickaxe through the heart.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool scene.
Yeah. So my next one was Mabel's death, and it wasn't so much her death that was good. It was the post death. It was
where she pops out of the dryer. Yeah, that was really good makeup for that. I mean, I've never seen somebody in a dryer before, but
I love the
yeah dryer.
Seeing all the upside down hearts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's see. Then all right, so we're in the top 5 now. So Hollis is when he got killed with the nail gun.
Yeah,
I like that because he didn't die right away, and he was just kind of. I think that's probably how somebody would die if they got hit with a nail gun a couple times.
I don't know. I thought that was unrealistic. I know people that have gotten shot with nail guns before, and they got to go get the nails taken out.
Yeah.
But
you thought it was unrealistic that it killed him, or
no? Just the nail gun thing. It didn't do it for me. Like this big motherfucker, you got to do something serious with it. He's the biggest guy in the film.
Yeah, I mean, he got him right in his temple. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they probably weren't small nails. They were pretty thick.
You think there were spikes?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna let you. You don't like it. You don't like the kill. You don't like the kill.
No, hey, go ahead.
um, number 4 was Dave's boiled death in the hot dog flavored water.
Yeah.
That
So
was
good.
I like that. So the funny thing about that one is when they walk in, there was some sign on the wall, and I can't remember what the sign said, but it was something like a twist. A twist can put you out of action or something. So like there was a twist to, just I don't know. I look too much into stuff. Um, but I like how, he was dead and stuffed into the freezer, and he put his heart in the boiling water and boiled it up.
No one pays attention to the dead body in the freezer. They open the door and he's in there,
Yeah.
just snot all frozen and everything. No one sees
Right,
it.
and that was really weird though when they finally found him dead. Like you didn't actually see them find him. They just
Yeah.
ran out of the kitchen,
Yeah.
and so that was interesting. That whole part was kind of funny. How they were acting all like scared and upset. That was some premium acting going on there.
It's a drive-in movie.
Yeah. So number 3 was Sylvia's shower death.
I love that one.
Yeah, I like everything leading up to it too, with all the stuff falling down, and then he just picks her up and carries her.
I think that one's my favorite.
It could be. I mean, I think my top 3 can be interchanged. But yeah, that one was pretty awesome. My number 2 was the stair death. Like the dude just came down. Now this was one that the unedited version made a whole lot more sense than the edited version. Because in the edited version, you just see a dude come down, he's hanging, stops, and then you see the girls and they get blood all over him, and then he just falls. So it doesn't make any sense. But then in the director's cut, you see that when he goes, it snaps his neck off.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then my number 1 was Happy's death when he got the pickaxe into the neck, out through his eye, and he just dried him.
That's definitely the best death scene.
Yeah, that shower one is pretty close, just because of how the build up and everything.
How he turns on the water and it's like blood
it's
coming
out. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming out of the mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so there's my top 10.
I heard somewhere that while they were doing this movie, that the people that were like doing the effects, making the bodies and stuff, he made like I don't know which death scene it was or anything, but supposedly had like a dummy of some sort for the scene, and he had to mail it to where they were shooting the film, and he mailed it in the coffin.
They found it in customs.
Yeah. The Canadian border or whatever, they found him in Canadian customs. It caused a big hoopla for a little bit. I wish I knew which one it was though.
Which body it was?
Yeah. Like you get a girl with the mouth wide open like that, or you get a guy with like an eyeball. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, that would be nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I would love to see them how to explain that.
So what would you rate this film out of 10 VHS tapes?
Who wants to go first?
It's not very high for me.
No, I'm gonna give it. So I'm gonna rate 2. I'm gonna give it 2 different ratings. I'm gonna make up. So I'm gonna say, based on, if I'm gonna rank the deaths, like how they do the deaths out of VHS tapes, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for like the death scenes.
Okay.
The movie.
Well, you're talking about the uncut death scenes.
The uncut, yes, because the cut, like this movie, the I don't know if it was the theatrical version or it's like this new made for TV. I mean, it was
Well, with this movie, when it came out, it was definitely cut. When they showed it at the drive-in and everything, it was definitely cut like the first way you see it. I mean, I don't know about the whatever version you said at the beginning, but like the non-theatrical whatever, like all the scenes cut because they were being really strict, I guess, with like violence in movies at this time frame because of that hippie guy got killed.
John Lennon was killed around this time, so they kind of dialed back on the violence.
So a lot of that was cut out because they didn't want to get an X rating. So
singer to the Beatles.
He was the singer.
Yeah,
I thought Paul McCartney was.
Well, they switched, but
right on.
I guess they were hippies towards the end.
I know who he is. His name was. I was having a brain fart with his name at the moment. but yeah, so that probably plays in with it as well. You know, with the scenes being cut. You know, because I'm sure it crushed the director for that. Because that does, like you were saying, it does take a lot out of this movie.
It changed the whole movie. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I would give the movie the way if I would have just watched it on Pluto, I would have given the movie a 4. But with the scenes and stuff, like a 5. I mean, there's but 4 probably.
Right on.
I agree with that assessment as far as probably a 4. The death scenes, if we're ranking the death scenes, I would probably give the death scenes a 7, give the overall film a 4. I would give the killer a high score.
Yeah.
You know, I'd probably rank him at maybe an 8, 7 or 8 for the killer.
It's interesting that he never caught on because he was a pretty good killer.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. And I think they probably thought, man, people are going to love this, right? Like they love these kind of killers that, you know, in these masks and don't really say anything. And he just didn't click.
Yeah.
Like the ones.
It's getting a pretty big cult following now, though.
Mm.
The guy is. They're making toys and stuff of them.
What silent masked killers did we have before this? We had like The Town That Dreaded Sundown, right? That was beforehand. Was that in the 70s?
I don't know did that come out in the 70s? I know it happened like 60s and 70s, but I don't remember when that movie actually came out.
Let me look.
It's close to this though.
Obviously Michael Myers. Let's see.
Jason came out afterwards, right? Like as far as him being in the mask, came out afterwards.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
What about The Burning? When did that movie come out?
The Burning, yeah, that was after this.
All right, The Town That Dreaded Sundown was 1976.
Wow.
They remade that in 2014.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that long ago that came out. That has like early 80s feel to it completely.
The Burning was 1981.
Same year then.
Yeah.
Right on.
Let's see what else.
I think that's about it with as far as silent killers go for the most part. I mean, unless you go like way back, you know, to black and white war films, but
yeah,
I can't really think of many more that came out without, you know, that didn't talk.
Yeah. I mean, maybe some obscure films, you know, in the 70s, but I thought it was a good character.
Yeah.
It gets a high score for the character, but the overall film gets a low score for me.
Yeah. We're just adding all kinds of sub scores.
Yeah.
Subcategories to try to get it up a little bit.
I'm just gonna go flat line with it instead of breaking it all down, but I would give it about a 5.5, because I mean, to me the movie's fun. I had a really good time watching this movie. Every Valentine's Day, my wife and I watch it. You know, it's just a staple. You know, I have to watch that movie on Valentine's Day.
Is it
And
your favorite Valentine's Day movie?
the original, yeah,
Yeah, you got the original, and then you've got like Valentine.
I would go with Valentine after the original Valentine's Day, or my
Okay, so
my Bloody Valentine.
You go My Bloody Valentine, then Valentine, and then
Yes.
probably the remake.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, I'll probably go 5 or 5.5, just because of for those reasons, like I said. And to me, that this movie is just a lot of fun. It's one of those movies that you don't have to pay attention to. You know, you can just set up the movie screen outside and chill by a fire and just laugh and have a good time while you watch it. And sometimes those are my favorite kind of horror films. You know, you don't take it seriously.
They're easy to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
They're
quick,
not-
90 minutes. 90 minutes done.
Yes.
You put it on in the background of a Halloween party, and you don't have to pay attention.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, or like Valentine's Day meal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, perfect.
So that's it.
Well, I have one more thing. So the one about the music. So
Yeah.
I did so that the band My Bloody Valentine came out. I guess directly from that, they named their band after that movie. They came out in 1983.
Yeah.
The Irish English band, and I mean, there's some. I mean, I've heard a couple of their songs that I didn't realize. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a post-punk type of band, and they're like almost shoegazy.
Mm-hmm.
I read that they kind of backpedaled on the, I guess the singer or whoever named the band said, well, I didn't even realize that was a movie. But I mean, you named your band after it 2 years after the film came out. But
yeah.
And since then, I mean, there's been songs called My Bloody Valentine. There's a ton of like pop culture references to the film.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of got a cult following thing now. Like those cheesy evil tunes. They actually made a figure of it. Those pop tunes or whatever they're called.
Oh yeah, the figures.
They made one. What's that movie company? It's been putting out new DVDs. Like
Scream Factory.
Yeah, they did one. Screamer. Yeah. They did one for My
Shout
Bloody
Factory. I'm sorry, Shout. I think it's
Shout.
Shout.
Yeah, it's Shout. They put one out. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of picked up buzz throughout the years, but I think now it's more popular than it was when it came out.
There's a guy, I don't know who it is off the top of my head, who makes a life-size replica from the waist up of Harry Warden. It's really cool, but I guess it's hard to get those masks because they're vintage masks.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that he's still making them, but it would be cool to get one in here.
The one guy in the movie still has his mining hat, like the helmet. And that's the one guy acted in the movie still has it. I saw him at Cinema Wasteland. They had a My Bloody Valentine reunion. And when he signed
on the table?
Yeah, he had it on a table right next to him, and he said this is like the actual like helmet he wore in the movie. He's like the only one out of the cast that kept his.
Should have taken it off the table.
I enjoy Wasteland too much. I don't want to get banned. But
so that's it, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
Yeah.
Well, until next time. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yep. Enjoy your Valentines. Maybe watch My Bloody Valentine after you watch this.
I highly recommend it. On Valentine's Day, not after. On Valentine's Day, watch it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and again, I don't know. Try to find the director's cut if you can, because it's completely different.
I kind of recommend it. I don't say I highly recommend it.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I give it a 4, but I gave the kill scenes an 8 and the killer an 8. So maybe I'm averaging out at a 6.
It's a perfect one to get your loved one to cuddle up close to you. You don't got to worry about watching it, so it's perfect for Valentine's Day.
There you go.
Make out, hear someone scream, stop, and watch what's going on, the violence, and go right back at it. You know?
All right, so next time, let's do a movie that we all like more.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like this one. I enjoyed this one. I'm cheesy.
You gave it a 5.
Well, because of it's a fun movie. It's not like an in-depth movie. It's not it's not real enough.
Mining isn't real.
All right.
I can't believe you guys didn't like my joke.
I liked it. I
Your
gave it
joke
a
was
but
good.
it was good. Very
I did
good.
like the build up to it. Like you had me actually thinking you had something. I think I was more upset with myself that you drew me in and you duped me.
Yeah, well, I guarantee one of you guys is gonna steal that joke. It's a joke. Stealing that joke.
Maybe I will.
All right, guys. Until next time, thank you everybody for watching.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, blah 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 blah.
All that stuff.
Whatever. See you guys.
Bye guys.